Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we're going to take a look at WerkBench. So WerkBench has just been updated, so you probably know it has been around for ages. Fabulous sampling app. So it's basically like a sampling sequencer. You can record input into any of these 16 slots here or here, and you have 4 banks of 16 on this side and 4 banks of 16 on that side, and these 2 banks can be linked, or you can have them chained together and they'll play in sequence. So there you go. So I'm basically going to give you a quick overview of how this works, but what I've done is I've got IM1, Korg IM1 reacting as an input here. You might see this here. Now this threshold is how much we'll record in. So if you don't want if you were recording live, you don't need to worry about this here. But if you were recording live and you didn't want exterior noise before you clicked your sound, then you'd set your threshold to suit sort of thing. So when we're on sample here and we tap this is now armed for recording. So if I hit the keyboard now, it will record into that slot. Or if I was recording live and I wasn't using Audiobus, I was using the audio input for Audiobus, then the threshold would be important because my voice would trigger the actual threshold setting. So first of all, I've armed this first one here, but I'm going to also arm this one, and this one, and record my sample onto all 4 slots. So I'm just going to hit this A on the keyboard here. Okay, and now we can go to trigger and just quickly have a listen. So that's what I've just recorded. Now if I press play, my tempo was set at 121.5, neither here nor there. So if I press play now, okay, super easy. So the effect has been applied by the IM1. Okay. Now what we can do with this, you can see now that I could reset the actual tone, but I haven't made any adjustments to the tone. This echo and reverb here are global. Okay, so they'll affect everything. But you can choose to have the echo effect A, or just B being here, or A and B, or neither. And you can have it tempo synced or not. This is your kind of echo speed here. Well, let's see. So let's play the little sequence again and show you what the echo does. Sync it to the tempo. Now this is your mix for side A, and this is your mix for side B. And this is your overall volume. Your echo feedback is how many times you're going to get a delay. And the mix is obviously how much echo you want. That's the speed. So you get the basic idea of the echo. The reverb will work exactly the same way. But we don't need to apply reverb to that sound in particular because it already has sound. And we certainly wouldn't really want to apply it globally once I start to add other sounds, etc., etc. So what else can we do? Well, we don't need to keep tapping and recording. Just tapping multiples makes it easier if you want the sound on multiple slots in your sequence. But if you wanted, say, this one over here, you just, go to mute and copy, pick hold of it and just drag it there. And we can also drag one down there too. So because these now two are actually going to play at the same time, that's what we'll get. However, if I hit this little link here, this will play first, followed by this one. Okay, so you get how that works. And we can build up to 4 of these. So we can get nice, rich, deep variations in sequences as they play along. So next we can do, I'm going to show you the cool stuff you can actually do with the individual samples as well. So for this we need to go to Fancy Controls. So we hit Fancy Controls and it opens up a whole new level of excitement for us. Okay, so let's just pick this one here. I've muted it there. But let's go to Trigger. Or we can stay on mute and copy, it doesn't really matter. Let's choose Pan, and you'll see that little dots will appear over all the little input slots. So clearly, if I go now and I move this one here like that, and in fact I'll move it all the way over. Now if you're not wearing headphones, you're not going to hear this. Okay, but I shall now press play, and if you've got headphones on, I suggest you pause. If haven't got headphones on, go and pause and go and get some on. So here we go. How cool does that sound, eh? So now we're getting somewhere cool. So okay, I want to go further now. I'm going to adjust the pitch of these two, and I'm going to take them up a whole octave. So plus 12 would be. We're going to go too far there. 12 and 12 on this one. Now you're getting an idea now that is if I start to make even more adjustments, I'm going to be able to get sequences and melodies and go and things like that going. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try this one now. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to go to I'm just going to mute that one. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Now, if I'm on trigger and mute here, and I say, for instance, okay, well, I just want to completely remove that. Well, you can just record over it, okay? Or you can just grab hold of, make sure you're on mute and copy, grab hold of an empty slot and just put it on there, and that will be gone. Okay. So let's make further adjustments to our fancy controls. So we've done the pitch on this one, and we've done some panning. You also have an echo and a reverb for each individual point. So I'm just going to echo this one here. So, and so on and so forth, until you're happy with how that is. And that sounds okay to me, actually. Probably a bit too much echo on there and a bit too much reverb, although I quite like the crunch effect. So here we go. So we've got this now. Now this start and end, this will do this, and you can set these separately for anything like this. Okay, so let's play. Now these are global controls. Okay, so let's just turn the volume down on this side and just listen to this side. Okay. And pitch, of course, is global. That just colours it in, gives it a bit more colour. Okay, so if you want to then copy this whole section over to this one, say, just pick it up and drag it in, and yes, and it copies the pattern over. Now you can make further adjustments. So let's say you know how to record in. So if we go to, let's record another sound just to make things more interesting here. So let's choose some. I don't know, what's this? Okay, now let's record this. Let's record a brass stab thing. So there's the sound we want. Let's choose to record this. Let's go to sample now. Let's choose to record this on this one. Okay, nothing on that one at the moment. And this is, remember, on our second bank. So we're going to have monitor input in because I want to hear it. So as soon as I hit this now, it's just recorded that brass stab onto those two. Okay, so let's go to trigger and just let's have a listen to that now. I'm going to step this one further forward. So you see, by linking it, it will then play along. And that's the same thing as if I link all of them and then this, they'll all play along as a sequence. So this would play, then that would play, then those two wouldn't, they'd play, but they'd be blank. And then that would play, etc., etc. So you can get quite a long sequence of events going on. Okay, now, let's see. Now, tips and tricks. This is important, okay? So I'm not going to build any more up with this. I'm going to show you now. You see, you can clear at any time your whole thing by hitting this clear and then holding it again, and it will clear. Okay, so that's gone. You're not going to have to do that again. So you'd have to copy it over, blah, 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 etc., etc. So you only want to do that if you're really thingy. But when you very first set this up, and this is so important, I cannot stress how important this is. open either one of these little file boxes, and where it says save full session, okay, you hit this save full session. Now this save this loop, and this would be A1, but this is the full session. You want the whole thing saved. Save full session, and I called this video test, okay. So we're going to do something very similar. I think it was video demo or video test or something. We'll do video demo again. Video demo, save. And then we can open it. You see where it says load. Okay, right, I called it video demo. So video demo 1, which is the one I've just saved, and the video demo, which is where we started. Now you see where I've got default session and new session. I wrote those as well, because what happens is there is no default session or no initialize in WerkBench. Okay, so the best thing is at the very first, clean install, right? Open your little browser here, put save full session and make one called default session. Then make another one called new session, and even make another one called initial session, because at some point you will forget. And then when you want to do a new session, you have to reset every single thing or uninstall it and re-download it. There is no initialize that I can find. So that's really important, and it just saves you stacks of time, because when you want to start a new session, you can just go here and, cancel that. You can go here, put load, put default, load session, and you're back to an absolutely clean session. So let me just show you before we go a couple of more things you need to know. Let me clear out this session in Audiobus. So you can record anything in, basically, like that. And it doesn't record for long, okay? You're kind of limited to how much it's going to step forward. It doesn't, like, you couldn't record 5 minutes in one slot, okay? And there's no, like, randomization and things like that. So, okay, now we can get rid of this. Let's close this. Let's close IM1. So we're just, there you go. Now you see, I can turn it off. You can also overdub, but if I put monitor, start monitoring. If I put monitoring while monitor input, you might want to do this if you're thinking. So let's go to sample. And I'm going to sample a click. Okay, let's go to trigger. Stop monitor now. And there's what we've just done. Now we can just basically, let's go to copy and mute. We can copy this anywhere we like. Actually, let me show you something else. It's monitor input again. Let's just say we want to record our click over several tracks. So we've got like a click. So we do this. There's our click recorded. And then you can start to apply your effects, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so now, for instance, let's say we want to record some bass drum, or we want to import. I'm going to show you how to import. So this is the important thing here, right? When you want to import something, I think that it's going to get AudioShare, but at the moment it doesn't. It has, general clipboard kind of thing, but it's still easy to do because I don't use AudioShare. I mean, I don't use audio copy and paste. I use AudioShare. It's just better for me. So we go to AudioShare. If you haven't got it, you should really seriously get it. It's the best audio document manager. But we're going to go to, where is it? I have some drum samples here, and I find a kick one here. And I'm sorry that was a bit loud, but okay. It doesn't actually need to be that long for this, but don't worry, because WerkBench will sort that out. It'll only let it play for as long as it wants it to. So let's do this. We go to this one and go to General Pasteboard, because we can't open in. I'll show you. There is no option to open into WerkBench here. So that doesn't do it that way. So if you're thinking, well, why can't I find it there? Just go to this option here and general pasteboard, and it'll copy it to the pasteboard. Then we can get rid of that. We can go to WerkBench again, and where we go to importer now, we can go to paste audio. So you can open file if you've already got one there. I don't even know what that is, but there you go. Or we can paste audio. So let's audio paste, yes. And I'm guessing that's my thing here. And there it appears there in its little previewer. And that'll just loop again. And then you can switch that off. Now hear that annoying little click. Don't worry too much about that. Because what we're going to do now, we're going to want to get, now how do we get our bass drum sound onto our thing? Because it doesn't, there's no thing like you can't drag it or drop it and stuff like that. But there is this thing here where it says sample. This is because that's the sample. But if you hit that, it says importer is input. Okay. So importer is input. So first of all, go to sampling and put overdub samples. Okay, that's what I want to do. Because I want to put one over there and I don't want to get rid of my initial click thing, say for instance. Let's go back to importer and let's select this and this and this as well. And let's just, what we need to do is before it gets to the end and that horrible click is there, just press play again. So we can go like this. Okay, and now we'll have this. And that's how you get your sounds in from AudioShare. Well, or from the general pasteboard, but I've heard that it is getting AudioShare. Anyway, guys, basically that's it. You've just got to dig in and have a mess round, and it's so much fun. You know, you can build up so much very cool stuff. But I've showed you the basic ways to get your sounds in, how you can arrange them, what you can do with them once they're in, and yeah, just knock yourself out and have a great time. And it's, of course, same rules apply. You can pitch the bass drum up. You can do what you like with it. You can take it out. You can just copy it elsewhere. You can do what, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can copy these over. You can, well, your imagination, that is the limit. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, consider becoming a patron. See you later. Oh, and if you're interested in buying it, there'll be links below.